Cheryl, pardon the papa. Just one thing. We're going to change your bedroom.
Enjoy real value online with TM Pick and Pay Click and Collect. It's time for the news.
We're broadcasting live from our Parker Hill studios right here in Highlands, Harare. My name is Zain Jamu and welcome to the main news. And of course, it's always a lovely evening to you, Joyce.
Well, good evening to you, Zain, and a warm welcome to our viewers. My name is Joyce Mabiga. Susan Masona is on sign language.
And of course, later on, Marilyn Gwenya will be joining us from our Montreux studios. But we kick off the bulletin with the headlines.
A SADC secretariat expected in the country for a third and final State of Preparedness assessment tour ahead of the regional bloc's Heads of State Summit.
In business news, analysts impressed by Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe currency management approach as the new ZIG significantly outperformed market expectations.
And in sport, the 21st edition of the Confederation of Universities and Colleges Sport Associations Games kick off in South Africa. We now give you these and more stories in greater detail. A SADC Secretariat team is expected in the country soon for a third and final State of Preparedness assessment tour ahead of the regional bloc's Heads of State and Government Summit slated for next month.
This August, all roads lead to Zimbabwe for the 44th Heads of State and Government Summit, during which President Emmerson Mnangagwa will take over as chair of the regional body. With preparations for the Indaba in full swing, we sit down with the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Trade, Ambassador Frederick Shava, who speaks on a state of preparedness, Zimbabwe's vision, and he also reveals to ZBC News that the SADC Secretariat is expected in the country for a third and final assessment visit.
The SADC Secretariat is expected to conduct its final assessment visit sometime this July. We are encouraged by the positive feedback we received from the first two visits that they've undertaken. The private sector is also actively involved in the effort of preparations. Their enthusiasm has demonstrated how collaboration between the government and the private sector can transform the hosting of regional and, in fact, even international conferences in pursuit of our national interests.
According to Minister Shava, the summit also provides a policy direction to the regional bloc for ensuring economic growth.
The summit, as the highest decision-making body of the regional bloc, will also provide political commitment, direction to the implementation of regional projects and programs in different thematic areas of what we call the Regional Indicative Strategic Development Plan. It's a plan of the 16 countries. These include peace and security, industrial development, and market integration, as well as infrastructural development.
What is Zimbabwe's vision as chair of the regional body as far as innovation and economic growth of the SADC?
The Second Republic has always been clear that innovation is the engine that drives development and prosperity in any society. In coming up with this theme, His Excellency President Mnangagwa's vision is to champion regional collaboration in building the region's innovative capacity.
With enhanced regional integration at the core of SADC, the summit will be preceded by the SADC Industrialization Week that seeks to unpack investment opportunities that exist within SADC member states for its economic growth. Olina Ndori, ZBC News, Harare.
Meanwhile, Zimbabwe's infrastructure development agenda has received a boost after cement-producing companies assured the nation of adequate supplies through increased production.
An assessment tour of the manufacturing sector by the Minister of Industry and Commerce ahead of the SADC Industrialization Week, which will be held later this month, has revealed improved cement supplies after the nation experienced shortages of the commodity last year. It also emerged that challenges faced by cement-producing firms are now a thing of the past after government interventions.
In terms of capacity, we have more than enough capacity to serve the demand in the country. The demand in the country is something like 1.8 million tons. As PPC alone, we have more than 1.4 million tons. That is before counting, the contribution from the other players.
Industry and commerce is therefore guaranteed of adequate supplies.
What I can assure the nation is that the issues that we had in the third quarter of last year, which mainly revolved around equipment availability, we have since worked on. Our equipment is running smoothly right now, and we are producing all the necessary cement, or at least our capacity that can produce. So we don't anticipate that we are likely to have any such challenge in the near future.
Government will also address the influx of counterfeit cement on the domestic market. With revelations, the move is prejudicing the economy of over $19 million a year.
The cabinet has since stopped the importation of cement so that we can give our local industry an opportunity to recapitalize and supply at a competitive rate.
The local cement landscape is pinning hopes for sustained production on stable economic conditions and power supplies, including low production costs. Expectations are high that as cement supplies continue to increase, the trend will translate to stable prices for the commodity. Stanley James, ZBC News, Harare.
The SADC Industrialization Week, slated for later this month, is set to provide a platform for local business players from various provinces to create synergies and expand their market share.
Business entities operating in Midlands Province are angling to capitalize on the SADC Industrialization Week to create synergies and expand their operations as Zimbabwe warms up to the 7th edition of the forum, which will be held in Harare later this month. The SADC Industrialization Week, which brings together top industrialists in the region to share ideas and form synergies, dovetails with the Second Republic's industrialization and reindustrialization efforts, which have seen most local companies expanding their operations. One such company is Sino Zimbabwe, which has retooled to boost production levels and match demand in line with the massive infrastructure development ahead of the 44th SADC Summit.
One of the iconic projects that we have engaged in is the new Parliament building. We were the exclusive suppliers of cement to that project. We also had the road rehabilitation project, the Bad Bridge Chirundu. So we supplied the section between Mashingo and Harare.
Data shoe companies invested $5 million United States dollars in acquiring a polyurethane pouring machine. The machine, which makes safety and school shoes, has reduced the country's import bill.
Previously, we used to import in the region of 50,000 to 60,000 of safety shoes, which we are putting in our stores. But now we have a capacity to produce 150,000 per year in-house here, therefore saving the much needed forex, creating employment, and also having or taking charge in terms of quality supervision.
In Beitbridge, players in the citrus production are gearing to capitalize on the upcoming Southern African Development Community SADC Industrialization Week.
Currently, we are servicing the domestic market, different markets within the country. We've also started exporting orange concentrate into the region, mainly South Africa, Botswana and Zambia.
The citrus citrus producer is upbeat of harnessing the SADC Industrialization Week to explore the possibilities of growing its regional market share.
We're looking forward to the Industrialization Week. We're looking forward to the engagements that are happening. We're looking forward to further collaborate and expand into the region and beyond.
The massive production at the Bedbridge plant now requires more than 1,000 workers, with an additional workforce being required for newly established citrus orchards.
The
SADC Industrialization Week will be held from the 20th of July to the 2nd of August and is expected to attract regional delegates, captains of industry, government officials and potential investors.
Zimbabwe has signed the SADC Seed Charter aimed at boosting and protecting the quality of seed varieties in the country and the region.
Harmonization of trade within the SADC region, especially in the agricultural sector, is on course after Zimbabwe's signing of the SADC Seed Charter. The charter is aimed at protecting plant breeders and seed varieties in the region, as well as allowing the country to explore innovations and new genetics. The SADC Seed Charter was signed by Lands Agriculture, Water, Fisheries and Rural Development Minister Dr. Anxious Masuka in Harare this Monday.
We have the International Union of the Protection of Plant Varieties, UPOV, which is an international organization that ensures that there is standardization, harmonization in terms of trade at an international level, but more importantly, ensures that plant breeders' rights are protected so that the breeders that have spent money are protected for a defined period. Generally is about 20 years, and one may wish to extend that.
SADC Crop Programs Officer Mr. Isaiah Chelele said Zimbabwe becomes one of the first countries to sign the legal instrument that will ensure the region is seed secure.
It's not by chance that today Zimbabwe is one of the first countries to sign these legal instruments that will ensure that the region is seed secure. If most of you will recall that for the past decade, I think the region has experienced a number of droughts. If it's not droughts, it's floods. And this had very big impact on seed availability, where you would find countries with surplus, others having deficits.
The charter will enable standardization of seed quality, as well as harmonization of laws that facilitate trade within the SADC region. John Nandara, ZBC News, Harare.
A government has set up more than 1,000 thriving rural business units, with almost 3,000 boreholes having been sunk to provide clean water to rural communities across the country.
The Second Republic is forging ahead with transforming people's lives in communities, with more than 1,000 business units having been set up across the country, supported by borehole water. The program is 8 key areas encompassing rural industrialization programs, rural development, village business units, and borehole sinking projects. Speaking to ZBC News in Harare, the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Lands, Agriculture, Fisheries, Water and Rural Development, Professor Obedjiri, said the program is in full swing across the country.
Under that programming, we currently have drilled more than 2,960 boreholes that have been drilled. Of those, 1,168 are equipped with either bush pumps or solarized. We have so far covered 44 chiefs of the 293 chiefs. We have also covered 21 schools, which are which now have these school business units.
The Rural Development Program is transforming thousands of lives in communities, as some projects are market-driven.
We have seen tremendous improvement in terms of livelihoods, specifically the availability of nutritious vegetables, the availability of additional incomes by sale of those vegetables. So we have seen lives being transformed. We have seen communities where school pupils have not been sent off from school because now the parents can afford school fees. So the impact of these village business units has been really tremendous in all communities that they have been established.
44 chiefs have so far benefited under the program, with 21 schools having established income-generating projects, while 248 other business units are being established across the country. Bruce Chawanda, SADC News, Harare.
Zimbabwe is taking a significant step towards eliminating the transmission of HIV, syphilis, and hepatitis B from mothers to their babies. This comes at a time when a new universal hepatitis B vaccine is set to be introduced.
The move is meant to eliminate mother-to-child transmission of the virus and contribute to achieving World Health Organization WHO validation of triple elimination of mother-to-child transmission of HIV, syphilis, and hepatitis B. The new measure was announced by Health and Child Care Minister Dr. Douglas Mombeshora while addressing the National Elimination of Mother-to-Child Transmission Validation Committee.
My ministry successfully mobilized resources for the National AIDS Council through the National AIDS Trust Fund to procure single formulation tenofovir for treating pregnant women who test positive for hepatitis B virus infection. Zimbabwe is yet to start implementing universal birth dose vaccination with monovalent hepatitis B vaccine given within the first 12 hours of birth.
Hepatitis B, a potentially life-threatening liver infection, can be passed from mother to child during birth. According to statistics, nearly 1.2 million of new hepatitis B virus infections are reported in sub-Saharan Africa annually, while an estimated 1.1 million deaths per year are associated with liver cirrhosis and cancer. Since 2018, Zimbabwe's National Validation Committee has been working towards eliminating HIV and syphilis transmission from mother to child. As of 2023, hepatitis B was added to the target with a view to achieving the triple elimination of MTCT for HIV, syphilis, and hepatitis B. Abigail Tembo, ZBC News, Harare.
The ruling ZANU-PF party's cell verification and restructuring program is progressing smoothly across provinces.
The ZANU-PF Masvingo provincial leadership was in Chivi this Sunday, engaging supporters on the cell verification and restructuring program. The party's provincial political commissar, Comrade Brian Munyoro, said the program is going on smoothly and they have started the verification process.
Pastage yatavaiko zvinezvi tiri kuita futi cell verification. Takati vekuma branch ndo vanopa constitution yedu ndo vanofanira kunge vachinyora mabranch. Isi tozoteverera vedistrict tichiona kuti zvinhu zvakaitwa zvakanaka here tichiverify. Saka pamusangano uno watanga tiri tatoona kuti homwe yedu iri kukura, tawana ma new members ajoina musangano.
The program saw former opposition members joining the party, including the former CCC organizing secretary for Chivi district, Mr. Isaiah Muzondo. The party's district leadership promised to continue mobilizing for the party. The ZANU-PF cell restructuring program began several weeks ago with the ruling party seeking to update its database at the grassroots. Ms. Maternal, ZBC News, Chivi.
Well, the past couple of weeks have been quite chilly, but the second half of this year's winter season is expected to continue on the warmer side.
The month of July has recorded unseasonably warm temperatures averaging 28 degrees Celsius during the day.
Vachokura taiziva kuti kuna July kunotonhora kunonaya tumvura kuine chando tichipfeka majuice asi kunze kuri kupisa hatisonyatsonzwisisa kuti zviri kuitika.
Makare kare kuine chando zvisingamboitiki kuti zuva rinopisa kudai. Saka makore ano kutaura kuti zvachinja. Weather tochinja kumakore achinja.
Maybe climate change. Sinzaizi kutoshanduka.
1 June chanyasa kutanga kusvika kuperawo kwa July. Asi tinoona July inowa kutopisa. saka ndokuchinja kwacho.
The Meteorological Service Department explained the weather phenomenon.
This year's winter forecast, the indications were that the first half of the winter season was going to be colder than average. Then the second half was indicating to be warmer than average. Over the years, the observations are that that cold period seems to be getting shorter than what used to happen in the past.
A warm winter trend has been recorded in most parts of the world, and this has been attributed to the effects of climate change. Festus Mkongorotse, ZBC News, Harare.
These and more stories are available on our website. Remember to visit www.zbcnews.co.zw.
Or you could visit us on our social media handles, that is at ZBC News Online.
Still to come in this bulletin.
In business news, analysts impressed by Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe currency management approach as the new ZIG significantly outperformed market expectations.
And in sport, the 21st edition of the Confederation of Universities and Colleges Sports Associations Games kick off in South Africa. Those and more stories coming up after this break. Stay with us.
This is the currency we've been waiting for. A currency that's not just paper and coins, but a symbol of Zimbabwe's rich resources and stability. That's Zimbabwe Gold. This is ZIG. Let's dive into what makes ZIG not just a new currency, but a new beginning for Zimbabwe's economy. ZIG is born out of a blend of traditional and innovative financial wisdom, anchored in gold and precious metals, along with foreign currency reserves. This backing isn't just for show, it's a promise of stability and trust, ensuring that ZIG's value is as solid as the gold it's pegged to. From the bustling markets of Harare to the serene landscapes of rural Zimbabwe, ZIG is set to become the medium of exchange that's both reliable and accessible, with denominations ranging from ZIG 200 to ZIG 1 and even handy coins. It caters to every transaction, big or small. Transitioning to ZIG is a breeze. It's all about inclusivity, ensuring no one is left behind in Zimbabwe's financial renaissance. ZIG doesn't walk alone. It co-circulates with other foreign currencies under Zimbabwe's multi-currency system, enriching our financial landscape. It's a legal tender that not only simplifies transactions, but also restores confidence in our economy, promising a future where stability and growth go hand in hand. So why ZIG? Because it's more than just money. It's a symbol of Zimbabwe's resilience, a step towards an economy where stability is the norm, and every Zimbabwean can look forward to a prosperous future. Welcome to the era of Zimbabwe Gold, where our currency is our pride.
What's wrong? Needs a little something. Needs a little something. Needs a little something. Needs a little something. Needs a little something.
KFC's got the sauce. Introducing our spicy range flavored with Tabasco. It's finger-licking good.
75 days since the last day of last season. We are ready to do it all again. Phil Foden is having the season of his life. Brilliant! Just brilliant! That is quite something.
Get all your football needs with DSTV for Business. Visit dstv.com/business and find the package that suits your business. They'll love it here.
Today's life is action-packed, hectic, and full of opportunity. You're off to the next big meeting, returning home from an important business trip, or you step out of your bubble to find your next adventure. Whatever your journey, we have a solution. A car for every occasion, be it leisure or business. At Impala Car Rental, for over 15 years, we've been catering for all Zimbabweans from all walks of life, using technology to make travel smarter and more affordable. Where will your road take you? Hit the road, whenever, wherever. Impala Car Rental, celebrating 15 years of service excellence.
Welcome back from the break. We continue with the news. Zimbabwe and China have expressed commitment to continue fostering ties, with particular attention being drawn towards rural industrialization.
To continue on the path of rural industrialization for inclusive development was central during the opening procession of the inaugural Harare Forum for Africa. The event has, among others, brought together Chinese and Zimbabwean academia with a view to enhance cooperation.
Today's event is about rural development. This is the area of our cooperation, of Chinese government priority of cooperation between our two countries. In the past several years, we have already supported Zimbabwe in drilling 1,000 boreholes. Like I said just now, that we'll be drilling another 300 boreholes.
Government spoke on the significance of having partners with a common vision towards modernization.
We are doing this to make sure that we accommodate everyone and also we decongest our cities. So this is a way to industrialize the whole country. And what we have learned from this forum with these wonderful professors coming from universities like Tsinghua.
Zimbabwe and China share a history of cooperation in several areas that include education, infrastructure development and agriculture. Wellington Makonese, ZBC News, Harare.
We're now crossing over to our Montreal studios in Bulawayo, and joining us from that end is Marilyn Gwenya. It's a very good evening to you, Marilyn. It's over to you.
Good evening and many thanks to you, Joyce and Zane. And now in our following report, local and international businesses are embracing government's shift to a streamlined e-procurement system, triggering a surge of over 100% in supplier participation.
As part of continued efforts to tame corruption, government operationalized the electronic government procurement system at the beginning of this year after its launch in October last year. In the last quarter alone, the Procurement Regulatory Authority of Zimbabwe, PRAZ, revealed that the number of registered vendors on the government's online portal has doubled, jumping from just 4,000 to over 10,000. This dramatic increase is attributed to the government's implementation of a user-friendly e-procurement platform.
One thing which we are very happy about as a regulator is once we started implementing the electronic government procurement, ordinarily you would have, say, 4,000 suppliers registering by the first quarter of the year, because they weren't much activity at that time. But this time around, because it brought out a lot of confidence, and you would find that we had more than 10,000 suppliers registering in the first 2 months.
The surge in supplier registrations is a clear indication that the e-procurement system is achieving its intended goals.
This is a game changer in the business industry. You know, all businesses, for them to function well, there's need for procurement. And if procurement is made so easy, many people tend to also participate in this. And also, this is good for the government when it comes to revenue collection. Remember, taxes are also made so transparent as a result of such a platform.
The e-procurement system offers several advantages for businesses and government, including eliminating the need for complex paperwork and provides transparent access to bidding opportunities. Tichaona Kurewa, ZBC News, Victoria Falls.
Government has praised the role being played by small-scale miners in boosting national production output, noting the need for responsible artisanal mining.
The official handover of a church building by the miners for ED in the Alabama area of Chakari district in Kadoma at the weekend brought to the fore the role played by artisanal miners in the mining sector output and improvement of social amenities. The gesture dovetails with the whole of government approach in community development.
Vana vedu vachadzidza mabasa amaoko, vana vedu vari mune zvekutaka ichava rehabilitation center kureva kuti vachadzidziswa kuti vabude mune zvekudhakwa.
Mashonaland West Miners for ED Provincial Vice Chairperson Mr. Muchineripi Tsanu outlined some of the development projects being implemented by the ruling party ZANU-PF in the province.
We discovered that it's my biggest polluters in the environment. Nenyaya yekuchera kwatinoita makomba. Saka nyaya dzekugaramiti kuti pese pese makomba anenge acherwa nevanhu miners ema-artisanal miners. Pavanenge vaona kuti havachamayina ipapo, tinofana kuenda tinodyara miti.
Officiating at the handover ceremony, Mashonaland West Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Honorable Marian Chombo, underscored on the need for responsible mining amid reports of safety violations in the province.
Tirikuita njodzi dzakawandisa stereki nenyaya yemining. Tirikuti ivava vazi varidzi vezvemugodhi ngavadzidzise vana vanenge vachimaina kuti safety chii, vanyatsochengetedza nekuti tikashaya munhu wani anofa mugodhi zvinenge zvakatikoshera. It's 1 in a million.
President Emmerson Mnangagwa is on record calling on Zimbabweans to play their part in nation building through sustainable utilization of natural resources in pursuit of Vision 2030. Tamuka Charakupa, ZBC News, Kadoma.
Civil society organizations in the Midlands province are embracing government's call of leaving no one and no place behind in the development matrix after they rolled out empowerment projects for people with albinism in Zhishavane district. Let's get the details.
A sense of collective action and empowerment filled the air in the mining town of Zhishavane this Sunday during the belated commemorations of International Albinism Awareness Day, where the civil society organizations joined hands and complement government efforts of empowering marginalized communities with various income programs. The event proved to be a beacon of hope to the often excluded community.
I can say we are very happy that CIMAS has showed up, and we also appreciate for Girls Focus Trust for hosting this event. So this is big for us. This is big because it means like people are going to see their stories and they're going to be heard.
Kana patuwanika mukana wekuti pane projects dzinokwanisa kutoitwa kusimudzira mukana wekuti ngatoti wangu watononoka.
Organizers of the initiative pledged to continue empowering people with albinism.
Tinofamba kumaruwa tichinoona vanhu vane albinism vari kumaruwa tichitaura navo tichiona zvichemo zvavo kuti tingavabatsira sei. Tine mhuri dzakawanda dzatinoda kuti dzibatsirike kuti vaite maskills, vatrainewe vagone kuita mabasa avo mibato yemaoko yekuti vanogona kufamba vachizvitengera mishonga yavo kana vatengesa zvinhu zvavanenge vachigadzira. Tine magadheni atinoda kuti tivabetsere vaite magadheni, tine vanoveza, tine vanoita welding.
Beneficiaries were allocated start-up packs for them to venture into poultry, wood technology, fashion and fabrics, and hotel and catering projects. Karajushe, ZBC News, Zhishavane.
And our main news continues from Pocket Hill Studios in Harare, where Joyce is on standby. Joyce, it's back to you.
Well, thank you very much to Marilyn Gwenya and our crew at our Montrose Studios in Bulawayo. We now take it from here at our Pocket Hill Studios in Harare. A government has ordered illegal settlers at Cloverdale Farm in Goromonzi to vacate immediately or face eviction. Let's get more from Gerald Sasa.
Government is continuing with its zero tolerance to illegal urban settlements being created by unscrupulous land barons. Local Government and Public Works Minister Honorable Daniel Garwe this Sunday had a meeting with illegal settlers who have settled at Cloverdale Farm near Ruwa Golf Club in Goromonzi, where he ordered them to vacate or face eviction.
Hamuna kodzere kunge muri pano dzokerei kwamakabva toda kuti Cloverdale inge ine order kwete zvamuri kutiitira pano pabva paita panzira pekuti vaenzi vanenge vachienda kuMozambique vachiona paine disorder, president vachienda kuManicaland vanenge vachiona paine disorder, voti Garwe ndakakuisirei kulocal government kana uchipromota disorder. Pasine disorder, kune vanouya vasingataure nemashoko, vanotaura nezviito, vanouya vachikuendesai kwamakabva, dzokerai kwamakabva kana pachinge padevelopwa zviri pamutemo, kana pane anenge achiuya achitenga stand, anenge akuuya kuzotenga stand kune vanhu vachadevelopa pana.
The settlers, numbering over 100, have already started putting up structures at the place, which measures 250 hectares, with more structures being constructed. Gerald Sasazet, BC News, Goromonzi.
Potato farming in Nyanga is witnessing strong growth underpinned by participation of smallholder farmers under Matema Potato Growers Cooperative, who are producing at least 30 tons of the crop every quarter.
Taking advantage of favorable conditions to grow potatoes in Nyanga, the Matema Potato Growers Cooperative is making a significant contribution to yield output of the crop. Vice Chairperson Mr. Ignatius Muwi noted the positive trajectory in production recorded over the last 7 years.
They produce 15 to 20,000 tons per season. But this is 32 tons, 32,000 kgs per season.
President of the cooperatives movement in Zimbabwe, Mr. Mike Duru, says Matema Potato Growers Cooperative reflects on the functionality of cooperatives in growing the economy, with the farmers looking forward to establish a value addition processing plant in their area.
Potato iri kubva mumunda mawo hachadi kuitengesa kumisika yekumbare kwaMutare yakadaro. Ndo zviri kutaurwa naPresident.
There are people who are gainfully employed in the farming activities that are going on here in Matema area. A hectare of potatoes properly done will get you a profit of between 10 to 15,000 US dollars. That can be just a small business or household business or cooperative business. It is now corporate business.
Women Affairs, Community and Small and Medium Enterprises Development Minister Senator Monica Mchangwa assured farmers of government support to expand irrigation and mechanize operations to further ramp up productivity.
The government, through President E.D. Mnangagwa, wants to make sure that we make everybody actively participate in the economic development of this country. Our farmers need to be mechanized. We have to make sure that they have tractors, they have harvesters, because all what you can see, all these fields which you see around here, they're doing that manually. And this is where now we are coming in with the Women Microfinance Bank, SMEDCO, and I'm happy to say as a ministry, we are also seeing other traditionally commercial banks coming on board to work with us and collaborate with us.
The positive developments follow the National Potato Farming Program launched in Nyanga by the First Lady Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa, which aims to empower women and youths as well as contribute towards national food security. Kenya's Chivuje, ZBC News, Nyanga.
Now taking a look at the tourism sector, the need to strategize on leveraging media channels to promote the local tourism sector took center stage when the Ministry of Tourism and Hospitality Industry engaged with the Fourth Estate in Harare this Monday.
The timely gathering precedes the country's hosting of the prestigious United Nations Africa Gastronomy Summit and the SADC Summit next month, spotlighting the nation's potential to attract visitors and stimulate economic growth. Speaking on the sidelines of the meeting, Tourism and Hospitality Industry Minister Honorable Barbara Rodzi emphasized the crucial role of the media in shaping public perception and promoting Zimbabwe's tourism attractions.
As Minister of Tourism and Hospitality Industry, there's no way that we speak
about marketing our country and putting it on the world platform without the media fraternity in the country. So through Ministry of Information and Publicity, we came together today with the media to discuss various ways and means of marketing our country together.
Journalists noted the mutual benefit of collaborations to showcase Zimbabwe's tourism potential.
We realized the importance of continuous engagement between the ministry and its state-owned enterprise.
As a media, we also wanted to get clarity on a lot of the tourism issues that are being posed by the public, as well as the media being that tool that disseminates the information that has to do with one of the country's largest contributors to the gross domestic product. So as a media, we actually get to disseminate this information to the public and also ensure that we are telling the correct story.
The discussions were very fruitful because it was more zero in on the issues to do with the accurate and good reporting in terms of our nation.
As Zimbabwe prepares to host upcoming regional and international summits, the stage is set for a tourism revolution that is set to drive economic growth, create jobs and promote cultural exchange.
We take a turn and jump straight into our courts, where a man from Domboshava who allegedly raped and robbed women who he lured using non-existent jobs has been nabbed and arraigned before a Harare magistrate.
25-year-old Willard Kudakwashe John Fati from Domboshava, who advertised fake jobs on a WhatsApp group and took advantage of women who showed interest in the jobs, ran out of luck when he was nabbed for rape and robbery. It is alleged that he used the same modus operandi on two of his victims who reported him to the police. The court heard that he would lure his victims to secluded areas where he repeatedly raped them before robbing the women of cash and valuables. He was remanded in custody and advised to apply for bail at the High Court. Meanwhile, Tedias Mungira, aged 35, is facing charges of armed robbery after breaking into a safe at a local company, stealing over 200,000 United States dollars. The accused allegedly threatened to shoot the security guard manning the premises before breaking into the office where he and his alleged accomplices, who are still at large, stole the cash. He was remanded in custody pending trial. Still at the courts, fraud-accused businessmen Mike Chimombe and Moses Mpofu remain in custody pending the finalization of their bail hearing. The pair is accused of fraud involving more than 7 million United States dollars they received from government to buy goats for the presidential goat scheme. The bail hearing continues this Tuesday. Fungai Jachi, ZBC News, Harare.
And that's our look at the courts. Taking us to a break. When we return, we'll be back with business news.
The Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe announces a new initiative to ensure sufficient local currency in circulation. Starting June 10, swipe for Zig Cash at any HomeLink branch using your debit or credit card. Available in your Zig denominations: 1, 2, 5, and 10 Zig. You can exchange your foreign currency for Zig Cash at the prevailing interbank exchange rate. The Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe is ensuring that adequate Zig Cash is available for all, be it in public transportation, retailers, informal traders, and other key stakeholders. For more information, visit your nearest HomeLink branch. Thank you.
TM Pick and Pay gives you value that will have you both warm and cheerful. Enjoy unbeatable winter warmer value this Monday and Tuesday. TM Pick and Pay. Real value always.
Zimbabwe, where the sun
kisses the earth lies a world of endless opportunity.
Here, amidst the vibrant colors and lively exchanges, the spirit of abundance lives. Allow yourself the opportunity to connect and innovate. See the future of your business at the 114th edition of the Zimbabwe Agricultural Show.
Filled with ideas, new and radical, that are cultivating prosperity, growing business, innovating for change, and nurturing our future. From agriculture to agribusiness, and from agricultural education to agri-tourism, every sector finds a place to flourish here, where companies unveil their latest innovations and network with current and potential markets. SAS 2024, where the future of all business sectors is being written today.
That's it. The regular football season is over.
What?
Yes, it's over.
Oh no!
But not for us here at Supersport. We've got a big deal coming your way.
Yeah! Sorry, that's actually a pretty big deal.
Catch all 51 games of Euro 2024. Stay connected to DSTV to watch all the action on Supersport.
Mama said, don't work hard, work soft, it'll be alright. So soft, soft care. Soft care. Soft care.
Gastronomy, yeah, to be traditionally. Tourism regional forum on gastronomy. First of its kind gastronomy. Gastronomy. Zimbabwe gastronomy. Covid force gastronomy. Abatizo tikuposta. Inetenge digital star. Kutufamba digital Azidombo Costa.
Zimbabwe na UN Tourism zvichaita musangano wekutanga we-UN Regional Forum on Gastronomy Tourism muAfrica kubva musi wa26 kusvika 28 chikunguru 2024 kuVictoria Falls muno muZimbabwe. Uyu muchero wemudzimai wemutungamiri wenyika Dr. Oxelia Mnangagwa kuburikidza nekushanda nesimba mukusimudzira kudya kwechivanhu kwedu muZimbabwe. Tigashire Africa yose, titambira United Nations Tourism. Zimbabwe yopembera.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. The new ZiG currency has significantly outperformed market expectations since its introduction in April this year. Analysts concur that Zimbabwe is on a path to secure a functionally strong currency.
In a post-monetary policy review in April this year, the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe Governor Dr. John Mushavan told captains of industry to later check on him regarding the performance of the new ZiG currency. Dr. Mushavan said a tight monetary policy framework, central bank independence, and the non-pursuance of quasi-fiscal activities will anchor the gold-backed currency from any fluctuations associated with past currencies. Analysts say the stellar performance of the ZiG currency so far garnered confidence in the market, with its purchasing power surprising naysayers.
I think the currency has ran its course fairly well. It has passed through the 90-day window, which we had given it as a test to see the market acceptance and the overall stability that it will achieve, given the history of the currency instability which we had in exchange rate volatility coupled with inflation. So we find that the inflation has largely been done away with.
We had seen the stability of the local unit against most of the currencies, especially within the region, including the US dollar also.
CEO Africa Roundtable Chief Executive Officer Mr. Kipson Gundan and economist Titus Mukowe concur monetary chiefs at number 80 Samora Machel Avenue in Harare should assume a backseat role and let effective policy measures do the talking.
We focus on what the market outcomes are. So looking closely in the market right now, yes, the ZiG has kind of maintained a semblance of value. We all hope that we have a functional ZiG currency that is able to catapult and oil the economy as we all wish.
If the policy stance is maintained, we are going to see that the currency will actually stabilize, and we also see monetary systems actually stabilizing.
Analysts contend the central bank has struck the right chord in dealing with a two-decade currency problem that has been a thorn in the flesh for the country's national economic development aspirations. Owen Mandova, ZBC News, Harare.
From business, we jump straight into the arts, where a group of female visual artists is championing environmentally conscious creative practices by utilizing non-biodegradable materials to create art at an exhibition that marks 30 years of bilateral relations between South Korea and Zimbabwe.
Dubbed Weave Fortune, the visual art exhibition currently underway at the National Gallery of Zimbabwe explores a waste management program that creates art designs from recycled waste. Spearheaded by Just Project, the exhibition is a collaboration between Korean and Zimbabwean artists.
The Bulawayo basket, they make use sustainability material, and the Pohera basket used recycled plastic. The plastic is, we are usually using the vinyl bag, plastic bag, in the market or everywhere. So there is a first collect, and then the boil, submerge, and then make a material, and then make a sheet, and then cut a CNC cut, and the shape.
As part of the initiative, plastic was recycled to make artworks and handbags, while other products were made out of environmentally friendly materials, including cornstarch. The initiative is aimed at promoting sustainable waste management practices. Patience Nyagato, ZBC News, Harare.
Well, an interesting way of recycling plastic. And that report taking us to a break. We come back with sport.
High-quality alcohol-free red common bricks for sale at affordable prices. Visit Dow Bricks at Chikurubi Prison Farm, Harare. We are also recruiting salespeople.
In today's fast-paced world, paying in ZIG is not just about exchanging physical cash. It's about tapping into the electronic payment space, where convenience meets technology. On Zimbabwe's stable, safe, sound, and efficient national payment system. Experience seamless transactions at your fingertips, anytime, anywhere. Join the future of payments today with ZIG. Secure, reliable, effortless. Pay the smart way. Pay with ZIG.
Gastronomy, yeah, do it traditionally. Tourism regional forum on gastronomy. First of its kind gastronomy. Gama vitungo gastronomy. Gama Zimbabwe gastronomy. Covid force gastronomy. Abatizo tiku star. Edetenge digital star. Kutufamba digital star. Azidombo costa.
iZimbabwe le-UN Tourism baqoqe umhlangano wokuqala owe-UN Regional Forum on Gastronomy Tourism for Africa kusukela mhla ka-26 kusiyafika mhla ka-28 Ntulikazi 2024 eVictoria Falls lapha eZimbabwe. Lumbutho uyisithelo sikamama wethu welizwe leZimbabwe uDr Auxilium Mnangagwa. Lokhu kuyikusebenza gadalala ekuphakamiseni ukudla kwelaseZimbabwe. Siyakwamukela Africa, siyakwamukela United Nations Tourism. iZimbabwe igcwele injabulo.
It's now take a look at the latest in sport. The Zimbabwe ladies football team kicked off the Kuksa Games with a 3-3 draw against Zambia at the Tshwane University of Technology in South Africa this Monday.
A game of halves best describes the opening encounter between Zimbabwe and Zambia lady sides. Zambia dominated the first half, netting 3 goals, but came a different side in the second half to allow Zimbabwe to claw back. After a good first half display, the Zambians thought they'd it in the bag, but Zimbabweans posted a dramatic comeback which stunned even the spectators. A major Jiwada strike and a brace from Adrina Mawaya was enough for Zimbabwe to get a point.
I'm proud of the ladies to come back. Well, the secret was actually in our substitution. The first half, they were not main marking. They were not marking tight. But in the second half, they were main marking. And we made those substitutions because we observed that the Zambians were playing fast football. So we had to introduce these younger players who can also run and match them in their speed.
First goal kade kurayithuna nimo assiste wasehlohla ls2 nga assiste ngumejuri futhi ngahlohla ls3 ni assiste ngu Ayona ngasehlohla iyo indlela sisebenzisile ini yangondo kuzofana ngokuthi nawali tena my teammates angu ndithenga ama coaches that's what for next game to don't worry.
Zambian coach Newton Tuseko blamed complacency among the charges.
I think the girls had a good game, just lost concentration. As you saw the last 2 goals, just lost concentration.
Zimbabwe men will face South Africa at the same venue this Tuesday. Hosts South Africa, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Malawi and Botswana are participating in the 21st edition of the Confederation of University and College Sports Association Kuksa Games. Mthokozi Stube, ZBC News, Pretoria.
Well, still on sport, the 5-match T20 series between Zimbabwe and India is evenly poised with 2 sides locked at 1-1 after 2 matches.
Zimbabwe shocked the world champions by 13 runs in the first T20 match at Harare Sports Club, but India showed their class this Sunday after a resounding comeback to leave the series 1-0. Zimbabwe clinical in their first match, but bowling and fielding mistakes were their undoing in the second match. Despite being put in their place by the world champions in the second match, the Chevrons are optimistic the young side will find its feet.
We're a nation that are very quick to sort of ask for changes suddenly when there's a bad game. Let's not forget that 24 hours ago, these boys were the same ones who won us a game against India. I'm not a big believer of bringing too many changes just because these boys have had a bad game. Let's not forget that 24 hours ago, these were the same boys that won us a game as well. So I want to show that faith. Selectors wants to show that faith. The board wants to show that faith as well. So I think we're all on the same page in that.
Zimbabwe selected a young squad to build a team for the 2026 World Cup qualifiers with only Sikandar Raza, Tendai Chatara and Innocent Kaya, the only players above the age of 30. The third T20 is set for this Wednesday at Harare Sports Club. Lawrence Tuseda, ZBC News, Harare.
From cricket we go to football, where the battle for domination of the Women Premier Soccer League is fast heating up, with the top 3 teams tied on 24 points each after 9 rounds of matches.
Defending champions Herentals, former champions Black Rhinos and Chapungu Queens are all tied up at the top of the log. Going into the weekend action, Herentals had a 3-point lead, but Black Rhinos made sure they draw them back. The former champions edged Herentals 1-0 at 2 Brigade Barracks this Saturday in a highly competitive encounter. And the defeat to the Army side was Herentals' first of the season and their only defeat in 2 years after last losing a match in 2022 when they lost 2-1 at Harare City at Zorasekwa Stadium. The solitary goal scored by Passion Chiwene against Lindhema Gwede was the first Herentals have considered this season. The defeat, however, sees the defending champions remaining on top of the log with the same number of points as Black Rhinos and Chapungu Queens. Chapungu thumped Maninki Youth Academy 3-0 to keep pace with the 2 dominant sides in the Women Premier League. The top 3 sides have won 8 matches apiece and have all lost once, but are separated by goal difference, with Herentals on top followed by Rhinos while Chapungu are third. While it's neck on neck at the top, the bottom 4 sides are also tied up, with ZRP Harare are finding the going tough in the top tier and still to collect a single point, while MSU and Mutare City are just above with 4 points each, and Hope Academy have 5 points. Lawrence Tuseda, ZBC News, Harare.
Well, that caps our sport update. Up next is the weather report and forecast.
Hello there, my name is Christine Swanda. It's time for your weather report and forecast, and let's get right to it.
Overnight cooling under clear skies resulted in very cold conditions in areas of a higher ground. Consequently, severe ground frost occurred in Nyanga, while areas such as Kwekwe, Gweru, Nkai, Matopos, as well as Mondoro had slight ground frost. All other areas were cold in the morning, except in areas over the Zambezi Valley, which were cool. Nonetheless, it became warm across the country under mostly sunny conditions as the day had made headway and cold towards this evening. Now moving on to tomorrow's forecast, we are expecting mostly sunny conditions across the country, cold in the morning over much parts of the country with severe ground frost in areas such as Nyanga, Matopos and Gweru. Cool in the morning in areas along the Zambezi Valley. It should become warm across the country as we head towards the afternoon and cold towards the evening. Now for our temperatures in detail, Harare's forecast, we have a maximum of 27 and a 4 minimum. Bulawayo 2. Minimum with a maximum of 27 degrees Celsius. Gweru 2 as well with a maximum of 26. Kwekwe 27 and a minimum of 2. Kaduma 27 and a minimum of 5 degrees Celsius. Moving on, Masvingo is expected to record a maximum of 28 and a 4. Chinoi 28 and a 4 as well. Bindura 28 with a minimum of 6 degrees Celsius. Gwanda 27 and a 2 minimum. For our holiday resorts, Victoria Falls sunny with a maximum of 29 and a minimum of 6 degrees Celsius. Nyanga 22, very cold with a minimum of 0 degrees Celsius. Matopos 26 and a 0 minimum as well. Now on our outlook, still expecting mostly sunny conditions, cold at first in all areas except for low-lying areas in the Zambezi Valley. We should be cool, becoming warm across the country towards the afternoon and cold as we head towards the evening. That's all from the weather desk today. Good evening, Zimbabwe.
Many thanks to Christine there for giving us the way of the weather, and that was our last port of call. From all of us here, it's good night.
Good night.
Tine chimwe chigayo chakasakisa kuti chiva grinding news izoita mukurumbira munyika muno. That one is known as a stock feed grinding mill. It does majanga emombe, it does maguri, it does uswa nezvese zvodyiwa nemombe.
Chiva's grinding mills tinogadzira zvigayo zveupfu, maize shellers, peanut butter diesel powered machines, Diula chigayo chekusura chibage, Hammer mills chigayo chematombo egold, ball mills for gold processing, water pumps, stock feed grinding mill size 3. Chiva's grinding mills, kokuti Chiva's, dokuti zvigayo.
Welcome viewers to tonight's edition of Inside Business. Inside Business, a program that we get to dissect various policy and non-policy developments that are emerging in the domestic market, as we also get to look in terms of various developments that are emerging in various sectors and subsectors of the domestic economy. And tonight's edition of Inside Business, we're going to be unraveling various developments that are taking place within the SME sector, with particular attention on the manufacturing sector, whereby SMEs are increasingly dominating in as far as contributing to the manufacturing sector of Zimbabwe is of concern. So tonight we just want to get an appreciation from one of the players who is into the manufacturing of the SME sector, discussing issues of growth, discussing challenges as well as recommendations. This is tonight's edition of Inside Business. Welcome viewers to tonight's edition of Inside Business, where today we are casting the spotlight on the small to medium enterprises sector, particularly looking in terms of the manufacturing side of the players who are in the SME sector, who are doing quite a lot of work in terms of trying to spur growth